Hello and welcome to beautiful Manning Field here on this April afternoon as the St. Mary's Spartans take on CCL rival, Arlington Catholic. I'm Sean Donahue, your announcer for today with Lynn Educational Television here with Matthew and Isaiah over at the Lynn Classical TV Media Department. Thanks for tuning in. After the face-off, AC is able to come away with it. We'll see what AC is going to do for an offense, if they're going to be spread out, if they're going to be playing tighter. There's going to be a lot of different cuts throughout the game. St. Mary's now with a record of 4-5 and a league record of 1-5. Arlington Catholic, not a very strong team, middle of the road team, not more like an Archbishop Williams. As we see a lot of cutting inside, he's met with 4 defenders here. Arlington Catholic is a team that is about the middle of the road, a very beatable team for St. Mary's if they come out and they play their best lacrosse today. So let's see what AC tries to do. A lot of cutting from up top. They're running into a plethora of St. Mary's defenders. St. Mary's able to turn the ball over. They have possession. They're going to be challenged right now with a clear. St. Mary's working upfield now. Kenny trying to get that ball across the half mark. He's able to find an outlet pass. He gets it over to Colin Jackson. Jackson's still working. He's got some defense met on him. He's able to work that ball down the alley. The ball's not fielded cleanly. St. Mary's will lose possession. That ball roll out of bounds, and AC is going to be tasked with a clear here from their own territory. A long toss from the deep hole out of Arlington Catholic. He's able to get it across the 50-yard line. 77 out of AC is able to scoop that up. He's coming around the crease, and he's looking for an outlet pass across. He's not able to field, the pass is not able to field cleanly. 8's able to scoop it up and get a shot on that. He's too far out. Caden Quirk, too calm, cool, and collected inside the net in order to let that one pass. Quirk again working upfield. He finds an outlet pass. His defender crosses the half mark. Referee gave him a gift there. He didn't call him offsides. You're seeing Laundry right now. Brendan Laundry work down, one of the star attackmen here for the St. Mary's Spartans. Spartans offense has done very well this year in maturing. Each of these games they've got better at fielding the ball, passing, keeping the defense guessing, working to find seams. Brendan Laundry now working for a dodge attempt. He dodges to his left-hand side. He gets around his defender, comes across the crease. He's met by a defender, knocked to the ground, flag up, and that ball is dead. So we're going to get a penalty call from the referee. Looks like we've got a loose ball push, which will result in an automatic possession for St. Mary's. Not sure if there's going to be a man-down situation here for Arlington Catholic, and that looks like what we've got here. So probably an unnecessary roughness call, unsportsmanlike from the referee. It's going to result in a man-down situation for Arlington Catholic. Let's see what St. Mary's can do here. Kinney now working, being pushed back outside. He's able to dodge to the left-hand side. He's met by a defender, passes over to Laundry. Laundry with a quick shot from about 10 yards outside of the crease. Beautiful shot by Laundry. Draws first blood for the St. Mary's Spartans. Laundry having an outstanding season here. Beautiful look by Kenny to be able to find that there. Laundry had a nice little fake pass that caught the AC goalkeeper off guard. Just a quick second made him look right to his crease side, and Brennan was able to make that shot quickly right after that fake. So St. Mary's with a little bit of deception there on the attack. St. Mary's leads AC here 1-0. After the face-off, AC is able to influence it. They field it off the ground. They need to get past that 50-yard mark, which they do, and they're trying to get a touch inside the box. Possession call is made, and Arlington Catholic's going to get to work on the offensive side of the game here. 28 looking upside, trying to find a seam. He doesn't see anything, so he's going to work back around the X position. Plays a little bit more aggressively and trying to test the ability of Jack McGuire. McGuire doing a good job of keeping him in front. A lot of speed on this AC team. AC doing a good job at moving that ball around. A lot of cutters coming out from backside at the X position. And right here you see AC capitalize on it. St. Mary's letting these guys play around back there. 27 able to get a nice little bounce shot on Caden Quirk. And just a weird bounce. Quirk usually able to save those. Can't win them all. Quirk doing a great job this season. Came in his first season with St. Mary's last year. Had a terrific season. Helped the St. Mary's Spartans get to their first playoff berth. They won their first playoff game against Swampscott, and then later would lose to Hamilton Wenham. So St. Mary's is hungry. They're working to get back to the playoffs this year. Right now they have a league record of 1-5. If they can get a win over AC today, they put themselves in a better situation to find themselves in a tournament position towards the end of the month. So after the face-off, no clear indicator on the winner here. Seems as though we're going to have a call from the referee. Could have been stepping on the cross by Arlington Catholic. St. Mary's is going to be tasked with possession here, and they're going to try to put a score together. Kinney trying to get the pass down to X, and it's knocked down by the long stick midfielder, number 6. St. Mary's not able to field that ball cleanly, giving Arlington Catholic an opportunity to redirect. Now they'll be tasked with a clear from their own territory. St. Mary's attack playing aggressively, not allowing these guys to clear, making it a little bit more difficult. St. Mary's now finding themselves in a position where they're playing defense. The Arlington Catholic Cougars coming out today, looking for a win over the Spartans to improve their league record. 27 from AC, works to dodge in 2. He beats 2 guys, takes a quick shot on Caden Quirk. Quirk, too calm, cool, and collected for that one. He's able to gobble that ball up, and now St. Mary's is on the clear attempt. Quirk gets over to Conley. Conley trying to get across to Ben Kirby. Ben Kirby just not enough stick there, even though he's got a 6-foot pole. It's just too high of a pass from Conley. That ball rolls out of bounds. And AC is going to take a timeout here to collect their thoughts. It's a rainy day here at Manning Field. We'll be back right after this break. Welcome back after the timeout. AC has collected their players and put a play into their head, and we'll see what they've got here for the St. Mary's defense. 4 passes down to 28. 28 working to get around the crease. He's not finding any seams here. He's forced to come back and redirect the other way. He'll pass back up to 4. 4 not able to field that ball cleanly. Gives St. Mary's midfielder an opportunity to scoop that ball up. He's coming down the sidelines, trying to get this ball over to an attackman here. He's able to get off of the field quickly and allow St. Mary's to make their substitutions. AC now in a situation where they're out of position. St. Mary's is able to score their second goal of the game here, coming from number 25, Joe O'Keefe. Joe O'Keefe, a rising player with the St. Mary's Spartans, doing a great job right there. St. Mary's on the fast break opportunity. A defensive midfielder able to get that over to an attackman, runs off of the field. St. Mary's able to get their substitutions before Arlington Catholic. The St. Mary's attack able to catch the Arlington Catholic defense out of position, able to find a couple steps right there and gets a shot on net, sails past the goalkeeper of the Cougars. We'll go to the half mark for our face-off here. St. Mary's able to influence the ball, not able to field it cleanly. It does pass through that retaining box. There is a possession call. Alra released. Arlington Catholic able to come away with it. A defensive midfielder coming down the field. He's able to get past one. He's going to try to take a shot. Quirk is able to make the save. He's working to get this ball upfield. He thought he saw something, and he didn't. He takes his time, runs around the crease, comes back out. AC giving him all the space that he needs, allowing this goalkeeper to come upfield. It's a good strategy, especially on the clears. If Arlington Catholic sees a botched pass, they can jump on that ground ball and possibly catch the goalkeeper out of position. So the most of confidence in the young Caden Quirk. He's a great goalkeeper. I'm sure that's why Coach Field doesn't really sweat it too much if he comes out, and he's got a good pass. St. Mary's, Nick Knapp finding a nice cutter coming from the top of the box. He tries to get a shot on net. He's not able to clean it up. St. Mary's now with a redirect. Kinney gets it over to 23 from St. Mary's. He's not able to field that ball cleanly. Jaden Moriello's botched pass is going to result in a ground ball, and AC's now fighting for it. A lot of rain on the field today. This is definitely going to affect the gameplay of both players. You see there's a lot of slipping around on that ball. It's tough to maintain control of it, especially when it's wet. St. Mary's is able to scoop that one up cleanly. Moriello now coming around the alley at the bottom of your screen. Passes back to Nick Knapp. Nick Knapp now with the key to scoring here. He's working to find a seam. He'll elect to redirect over to Brendan Laundrie. Laundrie now assessing the defense, trying to figure out which way he's going to dodge. Cuts to his left, comes back to the right side. He's got a nice little seam, able to get that pass off over to Jason Loessa. Loessa scores his first goal of the year here. Jason Loessa, senior player, I believe, this year, gets a nice assist from Brendan Laundrie. Laundrie sharing the wealth. St. Mary's scores their third goal of the quarter here. St. Mary's leading Arlington Catholic 3-1. The Spartans with an overall record of 4 wins, 5 losses, and a league record of 1-5. St. Mary's, 1-4. St. Mary's will take on Bishop Fenwick later on this week. Big CCL rival and a hometown rival for the St. Mary's Spartans. So I'm sure they'll be geared up for that game. Kenny able to influence the ball and come away with it. He's working upfield. He gets checked from behind. He's able to get across the 50-yard line. He's got some pressure here. He gets his touch inside the box. He remains calm. He creates some separation. He's looking for a little bit of help. He has to cut back inside. He's trying to find an outlet pass. He dishes it over to LeBert. LeBert back down inside the alley. Back to LeBert. LeBert not able to field that ball cleanly. That ball's going to sail across the 50-yard line. AC is the first one to touch it. St. Mary's is a good. Arlington Catholic's the first one to touch the ball. Good call on St. Mary's to get the over and back call, allow the defense to get back into a situation where they're in position to play some defense here. AC's one now working along the northwest corner of the box, down through the alley, redirects back up to 28. 28 trying to see if there's a seam on LeBert. Is LeBert able to dodge around that pick cleanly? A shot from outside of about maybe 10 yards outside of the crease is gobbled up nicely by Caden Quirk. Quirk now on the run. Quirk working upfield. He's trying to find an outlet pass. He gets it over to Jack McGuire. McGuire gets it right back over to a midfielder. He's going to use his legs to get across that 50. He still doesn't have control of the ball. Brendan Laundrie now fighting for it. St. Mary's still with a ground ball opportunity. Knapp not able to field that ball cleanly. Gets to it before it rolls out of bounds. St. Mary's is going to be able to retain possession here. Knapp cuts back to his left-hand side, doesn't see a seam. He's forced back. He's able to get past the defender. He's met by another one. He's forced back into the alley. Knapp now looking to redirect upfield. He decides to come back to Brendan Laundrie. Brendan Laundrie and Nick Knapp have had a great season this year playing a 2-game. Laundrie doing a significant job, especially in the scoring bracket. Knapp usually playing at the X position. Seems as though Laundrie's trying to give him a little bit of love and share the wealth. We have a cutter from up top. He's looking to Knapp. Knapp gets that pass down low. Nice little shot, too high. Ends up sailing over. Brendan Laundrie's there for the chase. St. Mary's is going to retain possession. Beautiful pass coming from the the northwest corner of the box there. Not able to get the ball over. Beautiful cut by Brendan Laundrie, making it look too easy. Laundrie inbounds the ball. He's able to get a couple steps on his defender. He creates a couple more steps. He gets even more space. He cuts across the middle of the field, and he gets a shot on the backside corner of the goalkeeper. Laundrie scoring the 4th goal of the quarter for St. Mary's. St. Mary's leading AC 4-3 on this rainy April afternoon here at Manning Field. I'm your announcer from Lynn Educational Television, Sean Donahue, thanking you for tuning in and thanking my crew, Matthew and Isaiah, for coming out and filming this game here. Both students over at Lynn Classical and part of the TV Media Club, so they hold a special place in my heart as it's where we all got our start, really, unless, of course, you did not go to classical. Enough about me. Back to the game. After the face-off, St. Mary's is not going to come away with possession. Seems as though we have a loose ball push call. St. Mary's is going to be tasked with the defense. Arlington Catholic now trying to get another score. They're hungry here. He sails around the crease. That ball gets past Caden Quirk. Quirk screened by too many defenders. 27 really doing all the work that he needed to do. Comes away, doesn't win the face-off, gets a push call. He ends up with the ball. He sees a weak spot in the St. Mary's defense. He decides to make it a little bit more of an effort. Runs around the crease, comes backside. St. Mary's has a lot of defenders over there. Quirk not able to see where the shot was coming from. So as it goes, St. Mary's leading AC 4-2. AC now limiting their deficit from 3-2. False start on the Cougars' face-off man is going to result in automatic possession call for St. Mary's. Kenny now working down the field. He gets his touch inside the box. Kenny's met by 2 defenders. He's not able to field that ball cleanly. The Cougars now on the attempt for a clear. St. Mary's trying to get back into possession to defend against this. They're trying to keep everything clean, small. Here's another situation for number 27. He tries to come off the shot. He's met by a stick check off of Ben Kirby. Luckily, Kirby was there to make that stick check. If he wasn't, that could have been a fast break opportunity for Caden Quirk to defend against, which no goalkeeper really wants to see. 27, got to keep an eye on this Cougar over here. He's a midfielder, and he's got deceivingly quick feet. Matt Conley on the defense now. Conley's offensive player trying to find a seam. He's denied immediately by a good old reliable number 16. St. Mary's now trying to defend against this. A shot ends up high. Quirk not even able to get a stick on it as it's too high. It's going to sail out of bounds. AC's there for the chase. Matt Conley, the defender, not able to get that one. The attackman from AC, a little too strong, pushes Conley back a little bit, steps back for a quick seam, able to get back on the left-hand side of Caden Quirk. AC now limiting their deficit to 1. St. Mary's leads Arlington Catholic 4-3. Here as these final minutes in the first quarter tick down. We'll go to the half mark for the face-off as Christian Lebert comes out for the St. Mary's Spartans. Lebert starting the season off at the face-off position. Kenny coming in, really doing and improving his ability. So Coach Field has been working him in there a lot more. Lebert, a very good face-off man. He's always able to influence the ball the way that he wants. He's patient, and you see the justification of his work right here. Lebert now with the ball. He's trying to dish it over to Nick Knapp. Nick Knapp with a quick deke. He's able to get around the goalkeeper. St. Mary's scores their 5th goal of the quarter here. St. Mary's offense really clicking right now. I'm not sure if it has something to do with the weather, but they've been very responsive in passing to open players, seeing where the breakdowns are in the Cougars' offense. St. Mary's scoring their 5th goal as these final minutes tick down. Coach Field's going to elect to keep Lebert out there as he was able to come away with that last faceoff. Let's see what the Spartans can do here. Arlington Catholic able to influence that ball. Nobody able to field it cleanly until now. AC gets the possession call. That long stick midfielder passes down to another midfielder. He's able to get his touch inside the box. 8 surveys to St. Mary's defense to try to find the weak spots. AC's offense has been hot in the final 5 minutes of this game. A substitution coming off the bench. He finds a cutter and he's able to come in. Tries to take a shot from about maybe 10, 15 yards outside the box. The bounce shots aren't so great, especially on this field turf in the rain. Usually you see a big splash and a ball will roll out of bounds. Still constitutes as a shot. AC back to work on offense. 8 now working to get across. Passes over to the alley at the top of your screen. He's met by the defense of Owen McGuire, I believe. Back up to the offensive player, Lebert. Lebert has a pick on his left-hand side, and they're able to execute it cleanly. 8 tries to pass down to an attackman number 7 in the crease. The attackman number 7 from AC not able to field that ball cleanly, and now St. Mary's is fighting for a ground ball. That ball rolls out of bounds. AC is going to maintain possession. They'll inbound from the X position. They're up at the alley at the top of your screen. Back to the X player. He's met by the defense of Ben Kirby. Ben Kirby now gets beat to his left-hand side. 26. Beautiful stick check by Kirby, able to get inside of the chest of 26, allow him to make a shot, but not a very good one. Forcing bad shots and bad passes is the bread and butter of defensive players. So wonderful job by Kirby to make the adjustment and get back inside. Kirby now the last man of defense, get in front of 22. 22 passes over to 2 with a quick shot from the northeast corner of the box here, about maybe 8 yards outside of the crease. That ball sails past Caden Quirk for AC's 4th goal of the game. St. Mary's leading AC 5-1. This game's picking up. Arlington Catholic, the Cougars, traveling to Manning Field to take on their CCL rival, the St. Mary's Spartans. The Spartans have a league record of 1-4 this year. They have an overall record of 4-4, I believe, right now. St. Mary's is going to get called for laying on the ball. Kenny not able to control his feet there. He falls down on it. AC is able to come away with the automatic possession call. 27 now working on the right side of Conley. He's forced back inside. 27 comes around. He's in front of the crease, and he's able to sneak past the 5th shot of the goal, 5th goal of the game for AC. Tying it up here in the first quarter. Arlington Catholic, their bench has erupted. They've been able to get back into this game, even being down at a deficit of 3 goals to start the game. Beautiful demonstration by the Arlington Catholic offense to stay hungry, stay out there, and put some scores on the board before this quarter ends. So soon after the face-off, we're going to have an end of a quarter. Let's see what St. Mary's puts together, if they can get a goal on board, if we're going to go into the second quarter with a tie game here at Manning Field. St. Mary is able to influence that ball. AC is able to come away with possession. Long stick midfielder looking across field to number 8. He's able to get it over by an outlet pass. 8 tries to take a quick shot on Quirk there for the save. He's not forced to make the save because the shot was so high. St. Mary's now going to walk away with possession, but they're going to be tasked with a clear from their own territory. Quirk elects to take it in from the X position. Quirk with the most accurate long pass out of the defense. As these final minutes tick away, we'll be back after this break. Welcome back to the start of the second quarter here as the St. Mary's Spartans are tied with the Arlington Catholic Cougars 5-5 here at Manning Field. I'm Sean Donahue from Lynn Educational Television, thanking you for tuning in. Thanking Matt and Isaiah for coming out and filming this game from the Lynn Classical TV Media Club. We'll go to the half mark for the face-off. St. Mary is able to influence the ball. They're not able to walk away with possession yet. Kinney there to scoop it up. Kinney now working to get across the 50, and he does. Now he's met by 2 defenders. He loses that ball. He tries to get it, and he does. He's able to get his touch pass over to Nick Knapp. Knapp not able to miss on that one. He was ready, willing, and able to score at all costs. Beautiful outlook by Kinney to see Knapp there. St. Mary's offense really clicking, and has a lot to do with the rapport of these midfielders and these attackmen. It's hard for defense to not focus on the guy coming right at the net. So traditionally what will happen is they'll try to get in as close as possible, draw off a couple defenders, and then pass to one of the attackmen who are hanging out by the crease, and that's exactly what you saw right there. St. Mary's influences that ball. They're able to come away with possession. Now they're on another medium fast break. He's able to get his touch. He passes back up top to Kinney. Kinney now surveying the defense. Kinney looking to see where the cuts are. He's able to get it across back inside the alley. He's not able to see a shot opportunity, so he's going to redirect up to Kinney. Kinney now over to Loessa. Loessa with a fake shot low. Loessa with a risky pass across the box. It results in a botched attempt. AC now with a clear, able to get across that 50-yard mark. They're able to get across to an attackman. Now they're inside of the box. They're not able to field that ball up cleanly. Ben Kirby, defenseman, is able to scoop it up. He's going to be tasked with a clear. He might get a check call here on the head, but I'm not sure if the referee had seen it. Caden Quirk now with the ball. He's going to be met by the defense at number 26. He elects to pass up along the alley towards the top of your screen. St. Mary's able to get across the 50-yard line. The long stick midfielder. Pass over to Nick Knapp. Knapp now with his 4th goal of the game today. Knapp doing a great job at really catching the goalkeeper looking in one direction, coming back to the opposite side. Wonderful demonstration by that long stick midfielder out of St. Mary's. That's number 17, Damon Marabito. And I'm sure the St. Mary's defensive coaching staff is over there very happy with that demonstration. The defensive players don't usually get a lot of time to run around and shoot and score. It's an unsung hero type of position. So, very good demonstration by Damon Marabito there to find the open attackman, dish the ball over to Nick Knapp. St. Mary's leading AC 7-5. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back. During the break, the referees will usually grab a cross of each of the attackmen, midfielders, to check for its legality. Referee giving a little bit of business to the number 2 of the Arlington Catholic, and there's the penalty there. This is going to result in a 3-minute lock-in penalty. If number 2 scored any goals, I'm pretty sure that those will be wiped off the board, or at least that's the way that it was a few years back. It's tough to keep those sticks legal, especially on a rainy, wet day like it is today. 2's cross was one of the random crosses that got selected. The referee came out, did his measurements. Not sure what the call may have been. It could have been that the pocket was too deep. It could have been that the sidewalls were too close together. It could have been that the cross was too short, or maybe it was too long for the position that they were playing. So this 3-minute locked-in penalty is going to be huge for the Spartans. The Spartans are going to be able to play in a man-up situation for 3 minutes, regardless whether they score or AC scores. Usually after a score on a penalty, the player's released unless it's a lock-in situation. So having an illegal cross is detrimental to your team. St. Mary's licking their chops as they're going to be playing the next 3 minutes of this game in a man-up situation. Lebert to start with the rock. From the top of the box, Lebert over to Kenny. Kenny now surveying the defense, trying to find an outlet here. Kenny working his way inside. He sees something. He's not entirely sure if he's going to take it. St. Mary's redirects the ball back down. They're doing a good job at moving the ball. Kenny now with a shot from the top of the box. Kenny with a good, clean shot. Usually these St. Mary's Spartans have terrific bounce shots, but on a rainy day like today, not the same type of bounce. Laundry over to Kenny. Kenny with a low shot. Knapp there for the chase. St. Mary's is going to retain possession. A substitution coming from the bench of Arlington Catholic as they see a breakdown in the defense. Knapp to inbound the ball from the X position at the top of your screen. Knapp up to Laundry. Laundry over to Kinney. Kinney back to Laundry. Laundry looking to Knapp. Knapp with a quick shot. Knapp on fire today. Scores the 8th goal of the game for St. Mary's. St. Mary's leading AC 8-5 here in the second quarter. Nick Knapp has a special touch to his stick today. And a penalty to add to his repertoire. Coach Field coming over to talk to Knapp, get an assessment of what had happened. Referee sends him off of the field. Usually penalties like that are unsportsmanlike. Coach Field doing a great job with this team and turning the culture around from a fighting lacrosse team to a winning lacrosse team. Although their record right now really doesn't reflect that. They're at a 500 percentage right now, so St. Mary's is on the up and up. Arlington Catholic, usually a team that would have blown St. Mary's out in years past, and the Spartans really doing a terrific job at getting back on track and being competitive in this Central Catholic League. So after the penalty, I believe the goal was wiped off, because we're not having a face-off here. AC is going to be tasked with a clear. They get across the 50-yard mark. That ball rolls down into an empty position. Quirk comes out of the net to scoop it up and gets it over to Chris Kirby. Kirby now working upfield. Gets it over to a midfielder. That midfielder now working along the alley up at the top of your screen. Over to Brendan Laundrie. Laundrie with a quick shot. That shot misses wide right. St. Mary's is there for the chase. They'll retain possession here. O'Keefe. Back up to Kinney. Kinney to O'Keefe. O'Keefe looking inside. He finds an attackman, number 23, Jaden Moriello. Moriello all over the field today. St. Mary's now leading 8-5. So the St. Mary's offense will be playing with an even set again. They'll have 6 players on the field. The man-up situation for St. Mary's will stay the same. They'll be playing with 1 extra man on the field, I believe, for maybe the next 2 minutes, 15 seconds of the game, of the running clock. So we'll go to the half mark here for the face-off. Kinney to take the face for St. Mary's. Kinney able to influence that ball to a midfielder. Beautiful play on his end, able to get it over to the midfielder uncovered. St. Mary's now with a possession and an attempt to score. A bad pass off of the cross results in a chase ground ball for Kinney. Kinney not able to get there in time. Kinney's going to come up the field, allow a defensive midfielder to come on. Conley's going to meet the inbounding offensive player. Immediately for St. Mary's, they're going to double this player as they're in a man-up situation. So Conley and Hurley on the defense. He's able to get his touch. Conley trying to push him back into the alley. Forces that ball onto the ground. St. Mary's fighting for the ground ball. 27 able to come away with it. Chris Kirby with a beautiful from behind the back check. It's not going to fly with the referee. I'm not sure if St. Mary's is going to actually come away with this. That's an old school check that is definitely not allowed in high school anymore. You come around the back of the player and you try to catch the cross on the backside. Kirby testing his ability here. He did execute the check well. Too bad he didn't know it was illegal at the high school level, but Arlington Catholic's going to maintain possession here. St. Mary's is now going to be in a man down. They're going to be in a man down situation. So this is a 5-on-5 set. After Chris Kirby's penalty, St. Mary's is now going to be playing with 5 defenders against 5 offensive players for AC. Looks like they're going to elect to stay in a man situation here. Damon Marabito looking like he's splitting the responsibility with number 17. Not sure if his little bit of deliberation on the field right here as they clear up the confusion with the box. Referees wondering why the penalized Cougar is out of the box already. Getting a quick assessment from the clock keeper. So St. Mary's will play 5-on-5 with AC as both teams have penalties. 17 over to 77. 77 met with the defense of Owen McGuire. McGuire forcing him down into the alley. 77 working to get around the crease and assess the defense. McGuire passes him off over to number 17, Damon Marabito. Marabito now playing defense. Conley able to come up and force him back into the alley. Marabito doing work on this attackman. Forces him outside. Beautiful attempt by Damon Marabito. Playing aggressive defense on the attackman. Forcing that ball out of bounds. St. Mary's now going to be tasked with a clear and possession with their own territory. Wonderful demonstration of defense by Damon Marabito. Keep 77 inside of that corner, forcing him to keep coming back, and is able to push him right outside that red line. St. Mary's now with an attempt to clear. Conley working to get across the 50-yard line. He finds an outlet, and he's able to get it to Laundry. Laundry over to Kinney. Kinney now on a break. He's past two. He's met by a defender. He's forced back up to the top of the box. Kinney trying to assess where the seams may be. He elects to pass down to number 25, Joe O'Keefe. O'Keefe back to Kinney. Kinney looking for some help. Passes over to Jason Loesser. Loesser with the low shot. Scores the second goal of the season. Loesser with a hot stick today. St. Mary's leading 9-5 here. About halfway through the second quarter. Beautiful look by Kinney. Kinney really just sharing all the wealth today. Not sure if it's a change on Coach on Fields' end to allow Kenny to try to get some more passes and more assists, or if it was a decision made on his own. But Kenny really dishing that ball out and scoring a lot of points just on the assist bracket today. We'll go to the half mark to see if Kenny can come away with this faceoff. St. Mary's now with 6 men on the field. AC still in a man-down situation. Kenny able to influence that ball. Works it over to 2. 2 over to Brendan Laundry. Laundry able to try to get it over to Knapp. Knapp not able to field that ball cleanly. Laundry able to come away with the ground ball, and he's surveying the defense here. Laundry tries to dodge right. Comes back inside. Laundry passes up top to Knapp. Knapp over to Colin Jackson. Jackson to Kenny. Kenny now surveying the defense. He's going to try to dodge here. If he can draw a defender, he'll pass. Kenny passes out top, outside to Joe O'Keefe. O'Keefe now to Laundry. Laundry working from the X position with a risky pass over the crease. The goalkeeper's going to come away with that one. Not sure if Coach Field would have been happy with that one if he didn't see it. Well, maybe he would be. St. Mary's able to play good, solid defense there. The goalkeeper trying to clear that ball. He came out of the crease. Now he's forced to play, and St. Mary's forces that ball on the ground. They're able to scoop it up. A 3-on-1 situation against the goalkeeper. If St. Mary's doesn't walk away with a goal right there, they might as well pack up, get on the bus, and head home. Beautiful job by St. Mary's. I wouldn't agree with the pass selection from the X over the top of the crease, but ended up working in the favor of St. Mary's. These rainy games, you tend to see some crazy stuff. So Kinney working hard on this face-off here, not able to influence the ball. AC fighting. AC with 3 men on the face-off. He must have an even set here. AC now with possession in the St. Mary's territory. 8 trying to get inside. Beautiful stick check by Kirby. Able to get under the elbow of the midfielder. Forcing a bad shot. AC's there for the chase. They'll maintain possession here. 17 to inbound the ball from the alley at the bottom of your screen. He'll be met by the defense of Damon Marabito. Marabito having a great game today, with an assist as well. Jack McGuire playing defense. He's beat to his left-hand side. He's able to recover and force that guy back out to the alley. St. Mary's playing some good, solid defense here today. 17 met by the defense of Damon Marabito. 17 trying to beat Marabito on the right-hand side. Marabito doing a good job at staying on the hips of this player. He might try to force another guy out, and he does. Outstanding job by the defender out of St. Mary's. It's the second force out today. He's got an assist. I think he's even got another clear potential here. Beautiful demonstration of defense out of number 17 today. St. Mary's, he's forced his second player out of bounds. And what's beautiful about that is it was a different player. So he could do it to 2 separate guys. Laundry now working down the alley at the bottom of your screen. He cuts back inside, gets his touch. He surveys the field. He passes over to Kinney, I believe. Kinney back to Laundry. Laundry working to find a seam around the crease. He might look back, and he does. Tries to find help up top. 25 can't field that ball without being checked. That check results in a ground ball. AC is able to come away with it. They're clearing across the 50-yard line. The defender gets his touch inside the box. He elects to pass over to an attackman. 2 passes over to a cutting midfielder. That midfielder can't field the ball cleanly. St. Mary is able to scoop that ball up. Caden Quirk looking upfield, passing it over to a midfielder. That midfielder passing it over to number 23, Jaden Moriello. Moriello not able to field the ball cleanly. AC is able to come away with it. AC can't field the ball cleanly. Now we have a ground ball fight here at about the half mark. St. Mary's now working to influence that ball across the half mark. They're able to get it over to an attackman. Brennan Laundry now working inside, trying to find a seam. He finds Nick Knapp. Nick Knapp now with a shot. Bounce shot, top corner. Beautiful attempt. Knapp with another goal today. That's the 6th of this quarter. St. Mary's leading AC 11-5 here as these final minutes in this first half tick down. St. Mary's doing everything that they can to run away with this one. We might be able to see the work of some of these younger players today if St. Mary's can retain this lead here, not let AC back into things like they did in the first quarter. This quarter has been dominated by the Spartans, scoring 6 goals and AC not scoring any. So any goals scored this quarter are all scored by the Spartans. Kenny with the face-off, he's able to influence the ball. He comes away with possession, gets his touch inside the box, passes over to Laundry. Laundry roll dodges to his left-hand side with a shot and able to sneak past the Arlington Catholic Cougar goalkeeper. Laundry scoring back-to-back goals off of Nick Knapp, not on his own, but St. Mary's scoring back-to-back goals within the last 30 seconds of the game time. St. Mary's up now 12-5 over this depleted AC team. We'll go to the half mark for the face-off as Kenny has been doing everything that he needs to do on this face-off, Elm. Kenny, with his patience, able to influence the ball. He comes away with it not so cleanly, but he gets his touch inside the box. He's able to scoop that ball up, create some separation, finds a cutter down low, and Nick Knapp trying to shoot from behind the back down low. He's checked well. That ball rolls out of bounds. Brendan Laundry's there for the chase. St. Mary's going to retain possession here in the AC territory. Laundry to inbound the ball from the X position at the top of your screen. Laundry over to Loessa. Loessa finding a cutter down low with McGuire. McGuire back to Loessa. Loessa not able to field that ball cleanly. Luckily, Laundry's there to scoop things up and get it started again from the X position. Laundry back up to Loessa. Loessa looking to Kenny. Kenny has the ball in the northeast corner of the box. Kenny now surveying the defense at 21 for AC. Passes down to Brendan Laundry. Laundry over to Nick Knapp. Nick Knapp now surveying from the X position. Knapp with an attempt to move on the left-hand side. He's going to dodge back to his right. He's working his way around the crease. He doesn't see any seams. Takes a risky pass. That ball ends up on the ground. St. Mary's fighting for this ground ball. A defensive player from the AC Cougars was coming for the run on that one. Not sure if Colin Jackson heard the footsteps from the big man, but he shied away from that ground ball quickly. Questionable pass inside the crease results in a ground ball. St. Mary's not able to come away with it cleanly. That ball is forced over across that half mark, and now they're going to get possession, but they still have to get their touch here. Kinney now looking inside to Knapp. Knapp's able to get past one. He's not able to get that shot on net as it sails past to the left. Laundry going to inbound from the X position. Laundry to be met by the Arlington Catholic defense, number 33. He's checked hard in the hand. He's looking to survey. He's going to elect to dodge here. Laundry met with some good, solid defense today. He had a heck of a contest against Austin Prep. There was a defender out of Austin Prep that was really giving Laundry a run for his money. St. Mary's loses possession here. AC working to clear across that 50-yard line mark. Brendan Laundry is going to come in, check 27 from behind. That's going to result in a penalty for St. Mary's. 1 minute. Unnecessary roughness. That's a valuable asset to lose to a penalty, especially when he's an attackman. It's not generally you see attackmen in the penalty box. We've seen 2 Spartan attackmen in the penalty box today. .77 with possession for AC. He's going to start from across the 50-yard line mark. He gets his touch. He looks for an outlet, and he finds 2 up top. 27 up top. 27 back to 77. 77 looking down in the alley. He's able to find the attackman. 26 over to 7. 7 now surveying the field. 7 passes over to the alley up top to 27. 27 met by the defensive Matt Conley. AC doing a good job at moving this ball around, creeping in on the St. Mary's defense. St. Mary's is going to be a little bit more aggressive here. A pass attempt from 26 to 27 down inside the crease results in a ground ball. Quirk's too hip for it. He's able to scoop that ball up cleanly, gets it over to the defender. St. Mary's now clears across their half mark. Nick Knapp met with the defense of Arlington Catholic. Knapp now having to get some work done. He gets past 3. He's back down in the alley. He's going to take his time to collect his thoughts and assess the defense here. Loesser now working the inside. He's able to get through the hips of number 12, but met with a defense of 33. Loose ball push here. Loose ball push call here on Christian Lebert. It's going to result in a possession call for AC. AC now clearing across the 50-yard line. He's met with the defense of St. Mary's. He's able to get down to number 77. 77 trying to get his touch inside the box with a pass over to number 2. 2 not able to field that ball cleanly. 2 influencing the ball to 7. 7 still fighting for the ground ball. There's 3 Spartans against 2. Now there's 3 Cougars against 4 Spartans. St. Mary's is able to come away with it. Chris Kirby now working up the field. Chris Kirby able to get past 2 defenders. He's checked from behind. He's able to still keep control of that ball. Gets across the half mark. Kirby now looking for help. Kirby needs an outlet pass. He's not able to maintain possession of that ball. A stoppage in the game. St. Mary's to have possession here in the AC territory. Jaden Moriello coming off of the field for a substitution here. Taking his place. Brendan Laundrie after the penalty. Laundrie over to Kenny. Kenny can't field that ball cleanly, but he's able to scoop it right back up. Kenny back to Laundrie. Laundrie looking inside. He's met by 2 defenders. Tries to get over to Nick Knapp. Nick Knapp able to work his way around the crease. The Cougar defense getting hip to what Knapp is doing. Getting to that stick a little bit earlier, forcing bad shots. St. Mary's doing a good job on the offensive side of the game as they've really done everything that they need to create this lead. The big thing is they've got to retain it, or at least increase it. Laundrie over to Lebert. Lebert down to Knapp. Knapp trying to get past 1 defender. He takes a shot, misses wide left. St. Mary's is there for the chase. They'll retain possession here in the Cougar territory. Joe O'Keefe to inbound the ball from the exposition here for St. Mary's. O'Keefe surveying the field, trying to find an outlet pass, and he does. He finds Colin Jackson. Colin Jackson looking upfield, finds Kenny. Kenny now surveying the field, back to Jackson. Jackson with a seam, decides to pass back to Kenny. Kenny met with the defense of number 12. Kenny now back to Jackson. Jackson surveying. This 2-man game could turn into something good. St. Mary's takes their time to retain possession here at the end of the half. That's the end of it. We'll be back after this break. St. Mary's leading AC 12-5. Welcome back. St. Mary's able to come away with a face. And a beautiful pass from Kenny over to Knapp from up top of the box. Knapp walking away with another goal right here. St. Mary's scoring their 13th goal of the game quickly in this third quarter start. St. Mary's coming out and dominating on this game on the offensive side of things. Doing an excellent job in this game as they're leading 13-5 against a CCL rival here, a big rival for them. St. Mary's stands at a league record of 1-4, hungry for a win. Kinney not able to influence that ball. St. Mary's, Matt Conley able to come away with it. Conley now having to get across that 50-yard line as he's met with a tirade of crosses from the Cougars. That ball falls to the ground. Now AC with possession, tasked to clear from their own territory. Knapp sees the reluctancy in the midfielder and he tries to go for the attempt to get the ground ball. St. Mary's doing a good job on the defensive side of things, really not allowing easy clears, not allowing fast break opportunities. Jack McGuire now playing defense. Passes off to Ben Kirby. Arlington Catholic going back to the cutting offense that we've seen in the first quarter here. A lot of cutting coming from the backside as they're working on the alley at the top of your screen. They're trying to pass defenders and draw defenders off of partnering attackmen. St. Mary's doing a good job at holding their own on the man game. A stick check there from Chris Kirby results in a ground ball. AC is able to come away with possession here. Damon Marabito now playing defense. Damon Marabito having a great game today. Marabito with an assist, 2 force out of bounds on an attackman. He's going to work to do it right here as well. A shot from 26 bounces off of the helmet of number 24, Jack McGuire, and back into the cross of number 8 for AC. 8 looking to come hard to the right-hand side, forced back up top by Conley. Kirby jumping the defense. He's able to get his stick in there, forces that ball into the ground. Got a slashing call on one of the Spartans here. They're going to be playing in a man-down situation. St. Mary's playing in their traditional box and one man down defense. AC with a quick rip from the northeast corner of the box. That shot misses wide right. AC's there for the chase. They'll maintain possession here in the Spartan territory. Brendan Willis to come up, gets on the hands of the attackman. Willis forces his guy back to the X position. The ball's on the ground. St. Mary's now fighting for it. 77 from AC, able to come away with it cleanly, not able to get a clean pass over. That ball rolls out of bounds. St. Mary's going to come away with it. They'll be tasked with a clear from their own territory. St. Mary's will elect to have Chris Kirby be the inbounding player. Kirby and Quirk having a great season this year on their clears. Conley as well. Kirby passes over to Conley. The speedy legs of Conley do a lot of work for the St. Mary's defense, especially when it comes to clears. Conley sails across that 50-yard mark. He's able to get past 77, gets a shot on net, end-to-end almost. Beautiful. I would say that counts an assist from from Chris Kirby as well. Conley saw a seam. He's able to get past the hips of 77, takes a good, educated shot on net, and when you're 5 yards, 4 yards outside of that crease, it's a lot easier to score and keep goalkeepers guessing. So, wonderful job on the end of Conley. I think that might be his first goal of the year. I'm not definite on that. I know he's been active on the defensive side of things. I think it's the first time I've seen him score here at home. So, congratulations, Matt. St. Mary's now leading 14-5. Here in the second half, Kinney on the faceoff. Kinney not able to influence that ball. AC's going to come away with it. Chris Kirby today having an outstanding game, especially on the jump passes. AC thinking that they can pass cleanly across the box, and defenders like Chris Kirby keep those guys guessing and forcing them to pass around the perimeter of the box. Willis to come out, play on 28. Willis playing good, solid defense. He's forced back out to the X position. Willis has a man to his left-hand side to help him out. St. Mary's now fighting for the ground ball. Two Spartans against two Cougars here. Who's going to come away with it? St. Mary's now working to keep that ball influenced in their own situation. Not sure what that was. Looks like a loose ball push call. AC is going to be able to keep a play on call here, and they'll maintain possession. AC with a nice little two-man game at the X, playing with the vision of Caden Quirk down here. Nice shot, nice educated shot. Quirk just too solid of a goalkeeper, not letting that one pass. A risky pass attempt from the X position across the box results in a stick check. That ball's on the ground. St. Mary's is now on a fast break opportunity. LeBert able to get that ball over to Knapp. Knapp comes back down, able to get past the goalkeeper once again. St. Mary's now leading 15-5 here in this second half from Manning Field on this beautiful April afternoon. It is a rainy one today. We've seen a lot of wild passes, wild shots. We've seen an illegal stick today, which resulted in a 3-minute lockdown penalty for the AC Cougars. St. Mary's really working to capitalize on that. Some standouts for today on the defensive side. Jaden Moriello really doing his end. Damon Marabito as well, forcing two guys out of bounds, getting an assist. Chris Kirby with a lot of intercepted knockdown passes and an assist from the clear. Conley stepping it up today. Nick Knapp having a terrific game, and Kinney with assists galore. The St. Mary's offense really doing a good job at working together against the CCL matchup today. St. Mary's defense kind of finds themselves out of position. They're able to adjust. It's still a ground ball. AC able to come away with it, but not before the check. That check was too high. High checks will result in an automatic possession call. AC is going to inbound the ball from their own sideline at the half mark. Quirk now found himself out of position. Quirk with a nice jump save. That ball bounces and rolls hard across for the St. Mary's Spartans. They're not able to maintain possession. They'll lose it here. St. Mary's now working to defend a quicker break. Robert Reynolds on the field for St. Mary's. Ends up getting tripped up. Loses his own feet and forces the AC player to the ground. And AC is going to get a fair attempt at it here. AC with a shot on net. Bounces off of the pipe. Conley able to scoop it up. He's forced back inside to Chris Kirby. Kirby now surveying the field, trying to get a clear up field. He's being closed in on by two defenders. Kirby now going to try to get past two, and he does. He's looking upfield across that half mark. He's got a midfielder back. He's met by two more defenders. He loses that ball. It's on the ground. St. Mary's now trying to get back into the defensive position to defend against a possible fast break. That ball's still on the ground. It comes away with Damon Marabito. Damon Marabito not able to get it across. AC's 28 with a shot. Quirk too quick for the save. Able to stop. 26 from AC. AC doing a good job at not allowing easy clears for St. Mary's. That's really what a lot of the success for the Spartans has been attributed to, is on fast breaks and good clean passes down to the ex-player Nick Knapp. Another possession call here. AC is going to walk away with it. 77 gets past St. Mary's and able to get back inside of the box. AC now with possession in the St. Mary's territory. Marabito meeting good clean defense. Wonderful shot coming off of 77 from AC, the big tall guy. Forces his way around the right-hand side of Marabito. Marabito having a great game today. It's just too strong for Marabito's cross. Marabito can't force him back inside. Results in a nice quick goal for AC. AC scores their sixth goal of the game. Their first goal of the half. And their first goal since the first quarter here. St. Mary's leading AC 15-6 here as we're about halfway through the third quarter. Kinney to take the face-off for St. Mary's. Kirby up at the top of your screen, and Colin Jackson, the midfielder, at the bottom of your screen for the Spartans. Kinney able to influence that ball. Can he come away with a possession call? He'll get a release call as that ball crosses the retaining box. Kinney met with good solid defense. AC's trying to force him back outside. Kinney feeling as though he should have got a call there. The defensive midfielder, number 8, now working upfield. Kirby now with another knockdown pass. Kirby working to keep number 2 outside of the box. And a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be on Christian Lebert. Or possibly another midfielder. St. Mary's will send the man-down unit onto the field right here. Caden Quirk chalking it up with the defense, telling these guys where they need to be, where the strengths of the AC offense is, and where the weaknesses of the Spartans' defense has been throughout these man-down situations. St. Mary's finding themselves in 3 man-down situations today, one of them met by another man-down situation for AC. One up to 20. 20 now looking. Trying to find a seam. He's not able to. He gets a pass over to number 2. 2's able to score on the right side of the box. Sneaks another shot past Quirk. No excuse for Quirk there. No screen. Just a good, well-executed pass and shoot attempt by the AC Cougars. Nice quick release coming off of the cross of the attackman, number 2 out of AC. Kid found himself about maybe 5 yards outside of the crease. The pass was too quick for Quirk to whip his head around and make the adjustment. So after the goal, St. Mary's will have their penalty released. We'll go to the half mark for the face-off here. Kenny able to influence. St. Mary's Matt Conley able to come away with it. He gets across the 50-yard mark and past 3 defenders. He's going to try to take another shot on net. Misses high. Knapp there for the chase. Nick Knapp will inbound the ball from the X position here for St. Mary's. Knapp to Laundry. Laundry looking across the field. Doesn't see a seam. He ends up working the alley at the bottom of your screen up to Kinney. Kinney now with the ball working over to Colin Jackson. Jackson looking down to his right-hand side. He finds Joe O'Keefe. Joe O'Keefe now back to Colin Jackson. Jackson working to find a seam. He's going to be forced down the perimeter of the alley. He gets that ball over to Knapp. Knapp now trying to find potential alley to dodge into from the X position. Knapp hungry for another goal today as he's had a terrific game. This might be one of his best games of his high school career. A lot of that success attributed to the good clean passes of Davis Kinney, number 12. But these guys have really done a bang-up job today. Kinney now dodging past 2. He's past 3. He doesn't get that ball off the ground. Kinney now fighting for the ground ball. 3 St. Mary's Spartans against 4. That ball is influenced in an AC direction. AC now on a fast break opportunity. Can they get past the hips of the midfielder? They can, but they're going to elect to take it and slow things down as they get their touch inside the box, get their substitutions, and try to get another honest shot on net. 77 with a quick shot off the cross of number 12. Is not able to get that on net. That ball sails out of bounds. St. Mary's is there for the chase. They'll maintain possession. 15-7, 3 minutes left in this third quarter. St. Mary's with possession and a task to clear from their own territory. Kirby, fake pass over to Caden Quirk. Kirby now looking upfield. Knapp as an attackman, finding himself in a midfield position. Knapp now trying to get across the 50. He's past one. Can he get past the hips of 77? 77 doing a good job at staying on the hips of Knapp. We have some laundry on the field here, and we'll go to the referee for the call. We might have a push call here. I'm not sure if Knapp had lost that ball, and the push call came after we had a ground ball, or it seemed like a good clean check. I'm not sure it's going to be a penalty or if it's just going to be a possession call in the favor of the Spartans here. Looks like we're going to have a Cougar in the box. St. Mary's going to have a potential to play in another man-up situation here. Kinney, he's got Knapp on the backhand side again. Kinney with a shot bounces off of the chest of a Cougar. That ball rolls into the cross of number 18. 18 now working his way up along the alley at the top of your screen. He's able to cut back inside. He's got 3 defenders in front of him. He loses that ball. It's able to sail across the 50-yard line. St. Mary's looking for the whistle so they can get the break attempt. And the over and back call results in an automatic possession call for St. Mary's now. Laundry working from the northeast corner of the box here, trying to assess where a seam might be. He tries to dodge right. He's met by good solid defense. Forced back into the left-hand side. Comes back around. Finds Loessa. Loessa with a low shot. Ends up outside of the cage. 21 scoops up. AC now tasked with a clear from their own possession. 12, the defensive man working his way across that 50-yard line. Gets a midfielder back. He's checked on the back end of the stick. St. Mary's, number 23, Jaden Moriello, does a great job of staying on the clear attempt by AC. AC's there now in position. St. Mary's defense finding themselves out of position after the botched clear attempt. A flag is down on the play. It looks like we're going to have a slash call on number 23. That's St. Mary's Jaden Moriello. St. Mary's now going to be tasked with a man-down situation. An even set for the AC Cougars as their penalty comes to a conclusion. St. Mary's, their defense now having to get to work. Last time the St. Mary's defense was in a man-down situation, AC was able to score quickly at the southeast corner of the box. Anytime I use directions on the box, I'm taking it from the goalkeeper's perspective. So right now, 3 inbounds the ball. He's at the northwest corner. He passes up top to the north center corner. 4 over to the northeast corner. Back over to 3. Nice little cut up top. He's looking for forward. St. Mary's now given a lot of space for these guys to work up top, a lot of cutting. What this does is it takes Caden Quirk kind of out of his game. He's not sure where the ball is. There's a lot of defensive players in front of him. It's tough to see where a shot's coming from after a quick pass, especially if that player's got a quick stick. So AC scores their 3rd goal of the quarter. AC and St. Mary's doing a good job at keeping things competitive in this 3rd quarter here. The score not indicative of what you're seeing here in this 3rd quarter as the AC Cougars are coming back, working their way back into this game. The deficit is large. It's 15-8 right now as the final minutes in this 3rd quarter tick down. We'll be going into the 4th. And if St. Mary's leads by 12 or more, they'll be running time. So we're going to have a short 4th quarter here if St. Mary's can keep this lead. They come away with the face-off. He works his way down the alley. He passes over to Knapp. Outstanding job by Conley. St. Mary's Spartans really doing everything that they need to do today. A few mistakes here and there, but those are easily fixed up. Laundry now coming around the backside. He's stick checked. That ball falls to the ground. St. Mary's not able to come away with it. It takes a bounce in the direction for Arlington Catholic. St. Mary's, Damon Marabito there trying to influence the ball across that 50-yard line. Ball rolls out of bounds. St. Mary's not able to maintain possession here. AC is going to walk away with possession. They're tasked with a clear. They get their touch inside the box. 26 looking across. He's met with a defense. 26 now coming across the top middle. This is a dangerous area. We don't want to see shots from up top here. A botched pass attempt. Looks like a miscommunication on the attack for the Arlington Catholic Cougars. Results in a scoop ball for Caden Quirk. Quirk just tossing that ball down to an empty area for the Spartans. It works out in their favor. St. Mary's now with a player down in the southeast corner. Works back up to the alley to Kinney. Kinney now from the northeast corner of the box. Works back down to LeBert. LeBert about 10 yards outside of the crease. LeBert with a quick shot. That shot misses wide left. We'll be right back after this break. St. Mary's leading the AC Cougars 15-8. I'm sorry, the game is still going on, and that's the end of the quarter. We'll be back right after this break for the fourth quarter. St. Mary's leading AC 15-8. Welcome back here for the start of the fourth quarter. I'm Sean Donahue, your announcer from Lynn Educational Television, thanking you for tuning in. Here on this beautiful April afternoon at Manning Field, the St. Mary's Spartans are taking on the Arlington Catholic Cougars for the CCL matchup. I'd like to say thank you to my crew, Matt and Isaiah, for coming out from Lynn Classical and filming the game. We've had quite the matchup here and quite the improvement from the Spartans. St. Mary's coming out and scoring 12 of their first goals in the first half and only 3 of their last 15 goals in the third quarter. AC making a good, honest attempt to try to keep things even and competitive here. AC with a score of 8. St. Mary's now leading 15-8 over AC. We'll go to the half mark for the face-off. LeBert to take the face for the St. Mary's Spartans. On this rainy afternoon here at Manning Field, we've seen a lot of crazy things. We've seen 2 attackmen get penalized. We've seen an illegal stick, which resulted in a 3-minute lock-in penalty. We saw Damon Marabito force 2 guys out of bounds. We saw back-to-back goals for St. Mary's within 30 seconds. A lot of wild passes, a lot of wild shots, especially with those wet crosses and balls down there. So St. Mary's now on the task to stop this clear here. The defender out of Arlington Catholic able to come up, not able to get that pass over to an outlet. Christian LeBert now is going to sail across the 50-yard line. St. Mary's now coming off the field for their substitutions. LeBert beats a man inside. He looks for an outlet pass, not able to get that ball cleanly to Colin Jackson. Jackson shaking his head, no, why wouldn't you pass that a little bit lower for me? It's tough on the run, especially in these rainy games. These crosses can become a little bit harder to throw with. The ball's wet. It slips around inside of your cross, so there's a lot of fighting in these rainy games. Kirby now working to get that ground ball. It's 2 Spartans against 3 Cougars. St. Mary's doing a good job at influencing. Kirby comes away with the ground ball. He's looking over to Quirk. Fake passes. He comes back along the alley up at the bottom of his screen. He elects to go back to Quirk in front of the net. Quirk, luckily with the stick, he's able to create some separation. Back to Kirby. Kirby now working upfield at the bottom of your screen. He passes over. He's trying to get it across that 50-yard line before he gets a failure to clear. Knapp ends up influencing the ball over to number 25, Joe O'Keefe. Joe O'Keefe doing a great job at staying calm, cool, and collected in front of the crease. O'Keefe with 3 yards away from the goalkeeper. That's the only distance really separating the two. He gets a quick pass from Knapp. O'Keefe's just got to take his patience and allow the goalkeeper to guess first. Beautiful attempt. Beautiful execution by the St. Mary's offense off of a botched clear attempt there. St. Mary's scoring their 16th goal of the game here in this fourth quarter. Kinney able to influence that ball, comes away with possession, looking down low, and he's going to find Joe O'Keefe. O'Keefe not able to field that ball cleanly, and that ball's going to roll out of bounds. AC is going to have possession here, but be tasked with a clear from their own territory. O'Keefe playing the 2-man game. He's forced to split 2. Usually the low man on the attack totem pole is doing this responsibility, but he's doing a great job at it. Laundry comes in, try to clean things up on the goalkeeper. He forces that ball on the ground. St. Mary's is able to come away with possession. Now they're in another fast break opportunity. A weird pass coming off of the cross of Laundry doesn't result in a nice fielded clean ball by Knapp. That ball rolls on the ground, giving one the opportunity to scoop it up, sail across the 50-yard line. He's inside the box now, looking up top to number 7. 7, one of the bigger players for the AC Cougars. He's able to get past 3. He's got a strong cradle. I'm not sure if it's strong enough for that. He's met by 3 deep holes. St. Mary's able to influence the ball in their direction. 7 coming away with the scoop, even with one hand on the cross. St. Mary's now trying to figure out where that ball is as well as I am. St. Mary's now working to get back into position. AC, number 2, doing a good job at maintaining possession, keeping Chris Kirby on the guess. Kirby got a pick to his left-hand side. Number 2 comes back. Kirby there on the check, forces that ball on the ground. Caden Quirk able to come away with it. We have a whistle on the play. I'm not sure if it's going to be a loose ball push call. If it is, and it's in the favor of AC, they're going to maintain possession here. And that's what we're seeing. 77 to inbound the ball from the alley at the top of your screen. He passes across the field to the X position. That ball sails out of bounds. That ball sails out of bounds. St. Mary's is going to gain possession here. They'll be tasked with a clear from their own territory. Chris Kirby, to be the clearing defender, coming out, passes over to Quirk. Quirk running before he's catching. Quirk having to come back, hitting the panic mode button, working upfield. He's trying to find Conley. Conley now with the speed. He's trying to get down the alley at the bottom of your screen. He gets past one defender, across the 50-yard line, past another defender. Conley working to look back, see where the seams are. He's able to get a pass over to O'Keefe. O'Keefe not really making an attempt. There's a penalty on the play. There's a flag down on the ground. We'll see what the penalty is from the referee. And the walk from number 2 tells you who got penalized. This might be a matching penalty here. If 2 players are out there talking a little bit too much trash, they'll be designated as knuckleheads and taken off the field to cool down. Big objective for these referees in this early stage of lacrosse is to keep these players safe. So it's an aggressive game. We're giving them big aluminum crosses, and part of it is hitting the other guy with it. So it's easily you can lose your cool, is what we see here. So they're not matching penalties. AC is going to be penalized. St. Mary's is going to be in a man-up situation, playing with 6 against 5 here. A substitution. Kinney's going to come off the field. He's had an outstanding game. Coach Field's going to get some work for some of his younger players here. See Eric Langlis take the field for the St. Mary's midfield. Langus with a shot. That shot bounces off of the leg of a Cougar. Still on the ground. St. Mary's fighting for this. Langus able to come away. He's past one defender. He's able to get back over to Laundry. Laundry now looking to inside. Doesn't have a seam. Laundry pulls out. He's trying to find Knapp. Knapp with nothing. Knapp and Laundry. Laundry back up to Langus. Langus back down to Laundry. Laundry across over to number 23, Jaden Moriello. Moriello down in the alley. Over to O'Keefe, I believe. Langus to Laundry. Laundry surveying. St. Mary's doing everything that they can to maintain possession, keep this clock ticking, as they almost have a definite win if they can come away and maintain possession. A botched shot attempt results in a ground ball. Knapp's able to scoop it up, score another one of his goals for today. That's the second goal of the fourth quarter for the Spartans. The Spartans now leading 17-8. Took me a while to count all those goals. A breakout day for the St. Mary's Spartans offense today. Knapp scoring probably about half of the goals that you're seeing for St. Mary's today. A lot of the success that the attackman has had at the X position comes from the good, clean passes from the midfield. St. Mary's doing a terrific job on clears today. They're doing a good job at defending against clears. Good all-around team effort today. Seems like these guys came out hungry for a win. And they are certainly in need of one, as their league record is 1-4 overall, and their overall record is 4-4. St. Mary's coming off of a playoff season last year, winning their first game against the Swampscott Big Blue, and then losing their second game against Hamilton Wenham. After the face-off, St. Mary's can't come away with the ground ball. AC now on the break opportunity. He's going to try to take a quick shot. That ball rolls past goalkeeper number 30, Robert Reynolds. Reynolds now on the field. Caden Quirk coming off, as he's had a terrific game today. AC able to score their first goal of the fourth quarter. AC now with 9. St. Mary's still leading. After the face-off, St. Mary's is able to come away with it. They end up in their own position, in their own territory. Robert Reynolds forced to get that ball up to Damon Marabito. Marabito now on the clear attempt. Marabito has help. He elects to go across the 50-yard line. He has a midfielder back. Marabito now working down the alley. He's able to get past 2 defenders. He passes over to Knapp. Knapp over to Langus. Langus can't handle that ball cleanly. An almost definite goal for Langus if he came away with that pass nice and cleanly. Again, these rainy days in lacrosse are bad for possession, certainly, and a little scary for goalkeepers. It's really, you can't really tell where that ball's coming out. Some players are good enough where they can play the rain, but you usually see that at later levels. There are a lot of good competitive lacrosse players in the CCL league. As you're seeing, a great display by the Spartans this year. Right now they have a record of 1-4 in their league, defeating Spellman last week and quite possibly walking away with a victory today over Arlington Catholic. St. Mary's came out and won their first home game, 11-9 over Georgetown. They would lose their next game against Archbishop Williams at home in a heartbreaker, an 8-7 loss. Would travel over to Fenwick for a 10-7 loss. Would see AP at home for another 17-8 loss. Then would travel over to Martha's Vineyard, walk away with 17 goals, but allowing 16 against them, but still earning the victory. Triton was a nice game for both teams. Both teams got a little bit better. Low-scoring game. St. Mary's walked away with the win over Triton with 11 goals to 9. And then last week beating Spellman in a overtime game, 10-9, losing to Archbishop Williams later on in the week, 13-5, and now coming up against AC. So St. Mary's Spartans is going to see AC again over in Arlington. So if they can walk away with a win against this team there, St. Mary's could end up, and another win against Spellman, St. Mary's could end up with a playoff berth again this year. About halfway through this fourth quarter here, the St. Mary's Spartans are leading over AC 17-9. 17-9. So after the possession call, an attempt to maintain possession here is failed by the AC Cougars. St. Mary's now tasked with a clear from their own territory. Chris Kirby working with it up along the alley at the bottom of your screen. Kirby now working upfield to find an outlet pass. He's going to end up taking it. Does he have a midfielder back? And he does. Referees a lot more forgiving this year on the offsides calls. If a player's not really impacting the play, then they'll allow it. Seems to be, at least in this game, a slash call is going to result in a penalty for St. Mary's. 77 takes a quick shot. That ball falls to the ground. We have a whistle. And we'll have the verdict from the referee. 1 minute slash call on St. Mary's is going to result in a man-up situation for Arlington Catholic. Arlington Catholic's going to maintain possession here. Let's see what they can do if they can put another goal on net. The young goalkeeper, Robert Reynolds, out to play goalie for the St. Mary's Spartans, coming in for Caden Quirk. Looks like St. Mary's is going to have possession here. Nope. I was right at the beginning. Penalty results in an automatic possession call for the team that the penalty was committed against. So after the slash, AC is going to maintain possession here. 17 is going to inbound the ball from the alley at the bottom of your screen. St. Mary's in their traditional box-in-one zone man-down defense. 26 now working around the perimeter of the crease, looking up to find some adjacent passes. Doesn't have anything across. Passes over to 4 and 28. Switch positions. 4 over to 77. 77 with a quick stick. Passes over to 28. 28 now looking back down. Not able to field that ball cleanly by 26. 26 now looking for an outlet. 26 trying to find a potential opportunity to cut. He's got a picker to his left-hand side. St. Mary's passes him off. That ball's in front. 16's able to scoop it up. Tries to get a shot on net. That ball bounces out of bounds. Robert Reynolds is there for the chase. St. Mary's is going to be the ones tasked with a clear in possession from their own territory. Kirby to come in and bring this ball in from the X position for St. Mary's. Kirby having a great game today. He's on that red line. He's going to be a little bit more cognizant of where he is. He decides to pass that ball down the line, forcing the AC offense to clear again. St. Mary's with some good aggressive defense here. Good clean hit coming off from Matt Conley. Forces 10 to the ground. Conley comes away with a scoop. He's past one defender. He's past two defenders. Conley loses that ball. He's in a fight now. Two Spartans against 3 Cougars. Whistle's called. A little bit of extra chit-chat between Conley and number 10 after the hit, and I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Conley looks like he's heading over to the penalty box. Could be a loose ball push call. After surveying the field, not seeing any laundry, I don't think we have a penalty, but we do have a dead ball foul. Loose ball push results in a possession call for St. Mary's. Conley will come off the field to collect his steam. As these final minutes of the fourth quarter tick down, St. Mary's is going to be forced to stay inside of the box within the final 2 minutes of the game. Christian Lebert working from the X position. Lebert comes around the crease position. He's met by 2 defenders. He's forced back out into the alley. He has help from 25. 25 passing over. Not sure what the call is here. We have a stoppage in the game. Could be a timeout on St. Mary's end. Not sure what the possession call was for, but AC is able to clear across the 50-yard line. 3 working to get inside. AC now working with some of the younger players. 3 over to number 17, Chris Kirby there, and another knockdown. That's his 5th of the game. Kirby doing a good job at jumping passes, allowing players to believe that they have an alley to pass to, and using his legs to get there. I don't know how he does it, but this kid is able to get that cross in front of any ball. All right. 17 working to come in. Kirby now testing to see if 17 is really as strong as he says he is. The dead ball foul here. Not sure what the call is going to be. .77 over to 26. 26 with a shot, misses wide left. AC is there for the chase. 15 will inbound for AC at the X position. Jack McGuire will meet him on defense. McGuire doing a good job of keeping his cross in the hands of the player, forcing that pass. McGuire staying with his player here. Down low. There's a pick opportunity for number 7 to the right-hand side. He tries to get in. He gets a nice 2-3 feet of separation. He tries to take a shot on net, and that ball misses. Rolls out of bounds. AC's there for the chase. They'll maintain position. 26 now working along the backside of the crease. 26 not able to get that shot off as it bounces off the Spartan leg. St. Mary's now in the fight for the ground ball. Damon Marabito walking away with it as he's got another clear. He's going to try to get another assist down here. He looks down low. He's not able to get that one cleanly onto the ground. Marabito's going to come back for the substitution. Kinney now on the field again. Kinney met with good solid defense by the AC Cougars. Joe O'Keefe from Kinney, back to Kinney. Kinney looking to laundry, calling for a cutter. O'Keefe to Moriello. Moriello back to O'Keefe. O'Keefe to Kinney. Kinney down to Langus. Langus back to Kinney. Kinney now surveying, seeing where he can try to find an alley, a potential area to cut, or at least get a pass to. Matt Frary finding himself on the field, the attackman wearing number 6. A penalty on the ground is going to result in a flag. I'm not sure why the call was made. It seemed as though 2 had possession. I'm not sure if we had a bounce before he scooped that up there. Once a penalty is called, the referee will let the team play on until the ball hits the ground. They blow the whistle and they assess the penalty. St. Mary's now in a man-up situation, passing over to Frary. Frary finds himself on the ground here, draws a penalty for the St. Mary's Spartans. Good job on the young attackmen's end to take the penalty and reassess. St. Mary's looking like they're hungry to get some of these younger players to score a goal today. We might see another one out of them. Moriello to inbound the ball from the alley up at the top of your screen. Colin Jackson at the bottom, wearing 25, Joe O'Keefe, and Kinney up at the northeast corner of the box. Referee trying to clean things up with the box keeper. Moriello to inbound the ball within the final 2 minutes of the game. St. Mary's is going to need to keep this ball inside of the red position, inside of those red lines. St. Mary's, Matt Frary coming off the crease. He has the potential to score. That ball misses wide right. AC's there for the chase. They'll walk away with possession here. A high bounce and a long pass results in a possession call for St. Mary's after the ball rolls out of bounds. St. Mary's will be tasked with a clear from their own territory as these final minutes tick down in this fourth quarter. What a shot coming off the cross on number 22, Ben Kirby. I'm sorry, number 23, Jaden Moriello. A pass from the top of the box from Kinney to Moriello. Moriello scores a 19th goal for the St. I'm sorry, the 18th goal for the St. Mary's Spartans. I knew they had another one in them. St. Mary's scores their 3rd goal of the quarter. Their 18th goal of the game. AC has a score of 9 right now. These final minutes are ticking down. We'll go to the half mark for the face as Kinney takes the face off for the Spartans. Kinney able to influence, win this. Can he come away with possession? Ben Kirby in there at long stick midfielder trying to make his influence. He'll come off the field for a substitution. Kinney now working to get to the alley. Loesser on the field. Passes down to Langus. Langus looking for a seam, doesn't have anything. Passes up back to Loesser. Loesser to Langus. Langus now with a low shot. Bounces off the chest of 21. The Cougars on a clear attempt. And that's it. At the end of 4 here from Manning Field on this beautiful April afternoon, the St. Mary's Spartans walk away with a victory over the Arlington Catholic Cougars, another CCL rival. St. Mary's improving their league record to 2-4, their overall record to 5-4. They're going to head over to Bishop Fenwick. Bishop Fenwick's going to head over to Manning Field later on this week to face off against the Spartans. Hopefully the Spartans can walk away with a win against Fenwick. That's another CCL matchup. I want to say thank you for you to tuning in. I want to say thank you to my crew, Matt and Isaiah, for coming out and filming the game. At the end of 4 here at Manning Field, St. Mary's defeats Arlington Catholic 8-9. I'm Sean Donahue from LETV, wishing you all the best.